Everyone thinks that losing weight is the holy grail of getting in shape. Like, they'll drop a few pounds and they'll end up looking like Brad Pitt from Fight Club. However, I lost 70 pounds and I just ended up skinny fat. Then I bulked the wrong way and gained 40 pounds of fat back, only to have to lose it all over again before I finally fixed my body. Now, I'm not Brad Pitt and I'm not claiming to be as good looking as Brad Pitt, but I did escape skinny fat, and I'm going to show you how you can too. Now, here's what you're probably wondering. How did you actually end up losing 110 pounds? And why, after all that effort, did I still end up skinny fat? Most importantly, what finally fixed it? That's exactly what I'm going to show you in this video, because losing weight alone doesn't guarantee a body you'll be proud of. In fact, if you don't do it right, you'll end up looking worse and be left frustrated, just like I was. So let me break down the exact mistakes I made and the simple shifts that finally got me from skinny fat to jacked. And to make fixing skinny fat easier, I've put together a free flowchart which gives you a visual outline of what you need to do to fix skinny fat without wasting years of your life. So grab that for free down below. I lost 70 pounds in 5 months, and I did it in the worst way possible. Basically, imagine running your car with no fuel and expecting it to win a race. That was my body. I was eating 1,200 calories a day, less than 100 grams of protein, and I didn't even know what a macronutrient was. Every day I forced myself to do 90 minutes of cardio that I literally hated with all of my life, to the point where I had to hype myself up just to step on the treadmill. And yeah, the scale dropped, but so did my muscle mass. The problem is, when you crash diet like this, you don't just lose fat, you lose muscle as well. And that's the formula for the skinny fat look. It's smaller, lighter, soft, and shapeless. This is why the classic eat less, move more advice is broken. Like, it'll make you lighter, sure, you'll drop a few pounds, but it won't make you look good with your shirt off. And I didn't realize that at the time. But later on, when I finally learned how to cut the right way, that's when everything changed. After dropping from 250 pounds down to 170 pounds, I looked in the mirror and I still hated my body. And that's when I thought, okay, it's time that I actually lift weights to gain a bit of muscle. I started watching bodybuilders on YouTube. I saw how much they were eating and I thought, that's the answer. So I bought into the classic eat big to get big mantra, but instead of building muscle, I was just eating loads of rubbish. So I was eating 4,000 calories a day of just burgers, pizza, cakes, like anything I could get my hands on basically. And I wasn't even training hard at the time either. And in just a few months, I gained 40 pounds back and I looked worse than when I first started. This is exactly like trying to remap a Toyota Prius and expecting it to perform exactly like a Ferrari. No matter how much fuel I poured in, the engine wasn't built to use it. And that's exactly what bulking is without proper training. You get bigger, but you don't necessarily get a better physique. Because here's the truth. Dirty bulking without proper training doesn't build muscle, it just makes you fat again. I thought I was getting bigger, but really I was just digging myself into a deeper hole. And later, when I finally realized how to bulk properly, that's when I actually fixed skinny fat, but I wasn't there yet. So now, after that stupid dirty bulk, I was back up at 210 pounds when I originally started at 250 pounds, and I was still miles away from the physique that I wanted. I was specifically after that Hollywood look, the Zac Efron, Ryan Gosling, Brad Pitt, and as vain as it sounds, I just wanted to look in the mirror and finally like what I saw. So this time, I decided to do things differently. You want to think of it like building a house. The first time I lost 70 pounds, I basically went around the house with a sledgehammer, smashed everything up, and then I dropped a bomb on top to just completely blow it up. But this time, I was focusing on keeping the foundation and shaping my body into the aesthetic that I actually wanted. So instead of starving myself at 1,200 calories and running myself into the ground with cardio, I learned the basics. So I tracked my calories, I ate 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, and I kept my calories as high as I could while still being in an aggressive deficit. And in the gym, I finally trained properly. I lifted heavy, I trained to failure, and I gave my body a reason to keep the muscle around. And that's finally when everything started to click. The goal isn't just to lose weight, it's to lose fat whilst holding onto muscle. And for the first time, I actually looked like I had a decent physique, but I still wasn't done yet. Cutting properly showed me what was possible, but I knew staying lean wasn't enough. If I really wanted that Hollywood look that I was after, I had to actually build muscle. But this time I had to do it without falling into the same dirty bulk trap. So instead of eating everything in sight, I kept everything controlled. I raised my calories just above maintenance, focused on clean, whole foods, and kept my protein high. This wasn't about seeing the scale shoot up, it was about slow, steady progress. And in the gym, I finally trained like I meant it. Progressive overload, pushing every set I could to failure, and actually tracking my lifts. For the first time, I was building strength and muscle, not just chasing a number on the scale. You want to think of this like filling a balloon slowly with air. It stays tight, it keeps its shape, and it gets bigger over time. And that's exactly what lean bulking felt like. I wasn't just getting fluffy again, I was actually building a structure that I never had before. and for the first time I could actually see my body changing. I had broader shoulders, I had a bigger chest, and I had arms that didn't disappear when I flexed them. My physique wasn't perfect yet, and it never will be, but now I finally had the foundation that I always wanted, and all that was left was to finally polish it off and reveal it with a cut. After you've lean bulked, you want to think of cutting down like sharpening a knife. The blade's already there, but you just need to clean up the edges and make it look sharper. That's why I ran a mini cut. A mini cut isn't months of suffering, it's short, sharp, and focused. For just a short few weeks, I dropped into a big calorie deficit, I kept protein high, and I kept pushing hard in the gym. The goal wasn't to diet forever, but it was to just strip off just enough fat while holding onto every ounce of muscle that I'd actually built. And that was the final piece. After years of mistakes, endless yo-yoing, and losing over 110 pounds in total, I finally had abs, muscular definition, and a body I was proud to see in the mirror, and that was the moment when I truly fixed skinny fat. So here's the truth. Skinny fat isn't fixed by cardio or crash diets. It isn't fixed by dirty bulking either. The only way out is combining smart nutrition, high protein, and consistent weight training to actually build muscle whilst cutting fat. That's how I lost 110 pounds and finally escaped the skinny fat trap. But watch this video next, because I'll break down the exact step-by-step strategy that I used, why I ate, how I trained, and how I structured everything, and I'll show you exactly how to fix skinny fat without wasting years like I did.